let's talk about some of the nerd news that happened this week. A lot of it pertaining to what happened today on things. First and foremost, from earlier in the week, we got some Spawn movie details. I mean, does anybody care about a Spawn movie anymore? Just out of curiosity?
Dude, they had a huge announcement down in Sao Paulo, dude. It was killer.
I'm still holding out for Avatar 2.
Did I bury the lead there? Did I bury the lead?
No. There was an interview with Todd McFarlane. He's been trying to get a new Spawn off the ground since the last one bombed horribly in the theater. So he's had an interview. He was at AZ Central, had an interview with him. He was at the Arizona convention with Stan Lee, and they asked him about the movie. And what he said was they are up to the stage of casting now. They're getting people cast for it. It's going to come out in 2019. It's going to be hard R, and it's going to knock people's socks off, is what he said. Now, here's the details that were released. Spawn is not the titular character in the film. It is going to be a cop that spawns the only fantastical thing in the background that shows up every once in a while. The budget's only $10 million because Todd McFarlane has to produce it, write it, and direct it. He does not want to give control to anybody else on this film. First-time director. Blumhouse is doing it. They're not going to give him a bigger budget than that if he's a first-time director doing this. So, do we think this is something that could give into getting a proper Spawn film, or we think it's going to be something where it's just going to be Spawn popping out his head out of a corner every once in a while going, hey, guys, remember this is a Spawn film?
I mean, it can't be proper if it's just him in the background, right? I mean...
Yeah. Why even call it Spawn?
Get Out came from Blumhouse and a stand-up comic who'd never written or directed a movie before.
Well, and my thing is hopefully what this is a love letter towards it and creating the world around it where we do eventually get that Spawn film.
Sam and Twitch were one of the coolest parts.
Well, Sam and Twitch is actually getting developed for a TV show right now with Kevin Smith. So
really?
That I'm more excited about, but the only thing we got details about right now is the Spawn film. But he is working with Kevin Smith to make a Sam and Twitch TV show.
Nice.
So yes, exactly.
Yeah, and real fast, I'm sorry. The Sao Paulo announcements were for Venom. They actually had a huge unveiling of Venom footage that has not been released out yet. So you were saying Spawn. It was Venom. They got the huge announcements. My bad.
Hey. Very McFarlane.
Still created by McFarlane. Still McFarlane creation. So
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, do you guys want another Spawn film? Do you want to see if they can get one right? Because if you haven't watched the HBO series, the cartoon series is phenomenal.
That was really good,
especially just because McFarlane's prologues every episode are awesome.
They were.
I just hope we can eventually get a proper one, not a rubber suit Spawn, what we got in 1997.
I'm about twice as interested in that as I am Avatar 2 or 3. But even then, I do still have to say that HBO series pretty slick.
Be kind. But yeah,
there are rules. Hold on, there are rules to this podcast, and one of them is not to bring up unless you're talking about the Airbender. That's different.
Whoa. Is someone trying to get you started on Nicolas Cage? That's for later in the show. All right, that's coming later. It's coming later.
Yeah,
we'll fix that in post.
If you guys want to see my more in-depth thoughts and actual parts of the interview, what Todd McFarlane actually said, make sure, once again, malice-corp.com. There's an article for Spawn there. The link will be up on here later. It's not in the descriptions right now, but we'll have that up there later. But go check it out. Go see if you think I'm right about things. If I'm wrong about things, let me know in the comments below or over on the actual article. Another major thing that dropped today, Tarantino. We've heard about how he wants to make a Star Trek film, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but they confirmed a film that he is working on. He is going to be working on a film that's a Pulp Fiction style in nature that takes place during the Manson murders. Around that time, Leonardo DiCaprio is cast as a out-of-work actor. Let's see. Tom Cruise is circling as being attached. as well as Margot Robbie. They've already talked to play the role of Sharon Tate.
Dang.
And Brad Pitt is circling to be attached. What do we think?
Dang.
Think this is going to be an epic? Just
It's going to be an epic something. It's either going to be an epic success or an epic failure.
Sounds great to me. There's only one actor though that I dislike more than Nicolas Cage.
Is that Tom Cruise?
There
good projects. You can't fault that. Tom Cruise does pick good projects.
He does. Overall.
I haven't seen. I really like to see Tom Cruise work with Tarantino. I haven't seen that yet. I'm curious what Tarantino would bring with that.
If he comes as his character from Tropic Thunder, then
That's awesome.
I'm sold.
Yes, this is a Pulp Fiction-esque movie set in 1969 Los Angeles during the summer of the Manson murder. So it's not going to be focused strictly on the Manson murders, but things that are going on around.
Interesting. It could be.
I'm actually interested.
Could be good.
Yeah,
Good.
I am interested now that I know it's the set piece and not the theme.
Yeah, and if you're talking California in the mid '60s, it's a pretty turbulent time for that region. So yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
what do you guys
awesome.
think in the chat room as well? Let us know if that's something that sounds awesome to you. Guys, sound off and let me know if you guys see anything from them in the chat room.
Well, Beth let us know that she isn't going to touch a Spawn film with a 10-foot pole with a hand dipped in toxic waste, nothing like that. So she's not for it.
Oh, and then she says,
she won't
"This one sounds like Django in the '60s."
Oh my god.
I could see that. Yeah, I'm just curious
I'll watch
who
it.
they cast as Manson. I want to see who gets that beard.
Seriously. Seriously.
Other news that dropped, they moved. Okay, so we have the Disney Marvel or Disney Fox merge that's happening. That's going to be starting to go into finalization 100% here soon. With that, they have decided to move movies around for when they're being released because they don't want them to be competing with each other. So Han Solo was going to be coming out in June. Well, guess what other movie was coming out June 1st? Deadpool 2. That got moved to May 18th.
It's like a week after. It's like 2 weeks after Avengers 2, right? Or Infinity War.
Yeah.
Wait, we get
which is a total troll move. Like it's just a total troll move.
So they don't want them to compete with each other.
It's the second son of Disney now, Deadpool. Like he even threw himself on the back end of Infinity War like that.
Well, the more detrimental one is they moved New Mutants all the way. One of the most anticipated films for comic books coming out this year after that trailer, they moved it to 2019. It's not even going to come out this year now.
What?
So,
Oh, come on.
There's so much about release windows now that does that kind of stuff, which is crazy to me. And I think you're completely right on this mess. Like that, I did not hear that news, and that is heartbreaking to me that we are not going to get New Mutants this year for sure. But at the same time, 2018 is a murderer's row of big budget films that if they're not confident in the money that they're throwing at it, which they're not, that's why they're going a horror film and they're keeping it a little dark and noir and things like that. They don't have the confidence behind it. So why are they going to go put it up against stuff that they throw all that other money in? So I see them hedging their bets, but man, that's a bummer.
So
that's a bummer
good,
news.
though.
That's a bummer
It looks-
news, man. That's such a bummer.
They're saying that it's basically seeming like they don't want to have two X-Men films in the same year because you've got Phoenix coming out this year as well. So I don't know.
I doubt it.
Mutants looked so good in the trailer. I don't want to wait another year for it. I'm afraid of reshoots that could happen because of pushing it out farther and everything.
You're just making me more sad, man. Stop. Stop.
This is supposed to be a fun cast. Would it be a bummer, bro?
Sorry. It's the nerd news segment. I can't control the news. Okay, well,
I can't control it. I'm not any of those others.
This is why I don't watch real news.
Those
Not like this is
entertainment
live.
channels.
Okay. Let me get into some really cool geek news that came out today. That they named 7. Okay, for the arachnophobes, I'm sorry, but they named 7 new spiders of species that came out today. After Tolkien, Lovecraft, and Rowling inspired names. So
Nope. You know what? I would still smash them.
Well, you have the correct. I'm gonna butcher this. Acrocera Varus, referring to Varus, a eunuch with the venomous spirit from George R. R. Martin's book, A Song of Ice and Fire. Which we all know Varus. You have the Acrocera Atlaknaka, refers to the Atlaknaka, supernatural entity from H.P. Lovecraft short story, The Seven Geeses. Geese? Geeses.
Geises?
Geises, maybe?
We're going to figure this one out.
Geases. Is that guy? No, that's not Geises. That's Ge. I don't know.
Let's say the soft G with the Jesus. How about that?
Jesus. We have the Larachna, which refers to Shelob from Tolkien's films, because that's how you pronounce Shelob, is Larachna. You have the Aragog, which is referring to Aragog.
Aragog.
Harry Potter.
Also Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The Miss Spider, which refers to Little Miss Spider, the title character in the best-selling children's book by David Kirk. I mean, and then Charlotte's Web and stuff. But it's kind of cool that they're going.
Like the other.
No.
Yeah, but it's cool that they're going into pop culture to actual scientific names to things. I mean I nerded out on that. I thought that was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Is that something that you'd like to see happen more? Is what things would you guys like to see named based off of books and TV shows and stuff like that that are in the nature world?
Well, not something.
Let us know in the chat.
Fire, that's for sure.
What about you? Do you guys have anything that you want to have named based off of?
Streets.
That's
I
a
would
big
like to
couple
see
Matt
street
thinking.
names.
Oh, streets would be awesome. Yeah.
Well, Marley's over here warning us not to be very careful with the H.P. Lovecraft stuff, because if we're shouting too many names, it could summon the old gods, the elder gods after us. So just be careful. Yeah. So we're gonna tread lightly right now. So thank you, Marley, for making me think before I just started, splurting out words there. So
that's okay. Those will get wrong anyway. Seriously, I think actually changing hurricane naming to main characters of the favorite TV show du jour, like of that year, could be a lot of fun.
So we should have
seriously like a great way to get your mind off your troubles.
What was it? Yeah, instead of Hurricane Harvey.
I'm saying the one that was missed here, if they're going off pop culture, I'm saying the one that was missed here
Hurricane Dustin
is not ending one with the name of Parker.
Dart.
Which one?
Ending one with the name of Parker. There should be a Spider-Man reference if you're going to name a spider off of something.
True.
That's true. I'll give you that. For sure.
That's the only one that I'm saying is missing. But I thought it was a really, really cool thing to be doing. That they released today. Go check that out. 6 spider names.
Beth is saying we need subatomic particles named after the Big Bang Theory. Hey, awesome. They're running out of them. Where's our Sheldon? Yeah, when's our next Sheldon particle coming? Marley's also talking about venomous plants. Anything she wants, a starlight pit plant
that would be awesome.
So
that would be awesome.
I agree. That's pretty awesome. That's excellent. Actually, I could never. You guys, way to be so creative. Way to be better than Matt.
The starlight pit.
the whole panel. I don't think anybody came up with it. This is why we have the chat room, because we're here to talk with you guys and have you guys come up with better ideas than we do. When
you could do it after like terminal illnesses, so like doctors don't have to be so like heartbreaking every time they tell somebody terrible things. They could be like, it's all right, it's okay.
Oh, they're in the chat room now, patting each other on the back about how great their ideas.
Yep. Hey, that's what's about, man. Enjoy the community, everybody. Be out there.
I don't know about the terminal illnesses. I'm sorry, you have
troll hunters, sir. You have troll hunters. You've got the Targaryen fever.
But at least it's not full blown.
At least it's not full blown AIDS. That's for sure.
I do have to throw in at least one more spider. One more spider, because I think Super Who, Wes, I think each of you had half of an amazing idea. Pun intended. No, you don't name him Peter Parker. You don't name him Parker. No, you name him Ben Parker. So that way when
Jesus.
Smash. Every time you can get down on those knees and cry for Uncle Ben.
Okay.